Hey everyone. Today we are here with the online captivation secret number 4. So I'm going to wait for you guys to pop on. And when you pop on, say hello. Let me see if I can. Oh, that's interesting. I was allowed to post comments yesterday. Now I can't. So hopefully this is working again and I don't get cut off. So if you're here, say hello. If you're popping on, let's see. I'm going to check here on my phone. Yes, it is working. All right, say hi if you're here. Jen is like super dressed up today. Hair done and everything. Going to a dinner in a couple hours, so had to get all pretty. I'm going to be meeting some new people, and I gotta captivate, right? Gotta captivate them. So, that is why the makeup's done, the hair's done, all that good stuff. So if you're here, say hi. See you guys popping on. I'm going to be talking about captivation secret number 4, which is an iteration of captivation secret number 1, which was getting your updated iOS and really having that operating system running smoothly. Today, it's all about that 6-figure mindset. And I'm going to give you a little bit of insight into how I was able to 14x, not 2x, 3x, or even 10x, but 14x my business in 1 year by shifting my mindset, by focusing on wealth, by understanding my value, and going out there and really just being confident and positive and owning that I was a 6-figure earner. Even when I didn't actually believe I was just yet. So I'm going to share with you guys how to do that, because the reality is, if you're not confident in your services, if you're not confident in your value, if you're not confident in sales, people feel that they can sniff it out a mile away. So confidence is key, and I'm going to talk about how little things that happen, little things that you do are actually making a case for you. And it's what I like to say is confidence, or evidence equals confidence. So looking for those little things that are happening, appreciating them, and using that to really fuel this 6-figure mindset. So if you're here, say hello. I am, for some reason, not seeing the comments, but hopefully they will pop up in a few, just like they have the last couple of days. And I want to know what your mindset is. So, do you still have the mindset of an employee? I know a lot of you may still be working your 9 to 5. Do you have a mindset of an employee still? Do you have the mindset of a 4-figure earner, 5-figure earner, 6-figure earner, 10-figure earner? You know, what is that mindset that you have? And I also want to mention that being a 6-figure earner is so different than being a 7-figure earner. Completely different mindset, completely different systems, completely different everything. So I find it funny when, I see people that market that say they help 6 and 7-figure earners, and the reality is they're two totally different things. It's like saying I work with newbies and experienced people. It's completely different mindset that needs to go into it. So what we're talking about today is that 6-figure mindset. So when I first started my business, a lot of you heard my story yesterday. I gave you a little piece of it when we talked about how to leverage your backstory. When I first started my business, I was at that point, still had an employee mindset. And my employee mindset was that, I had to work in order to get paid. So I actually had to do something. I had to go into work. I had to work a certain amount of hours a week, and then I would get a paycheck. And that's kind of how I went into entrepreneurship. I just, had that as I was growing up. That was the belief that I had. I also had this crazy belief that $40,000 a year was a good salary, that was good for somebody to make, or 60 grand a year was good. And I thought people that were making 6 figures were rich. I mean, it's crazy to now look back and know that that's the way I thought, but that is what I thought. at the time. And so my first profitable year in business, I made $35,000. I profited $35,000. And, at first I was like, this is great. My first year, I was still kind of working part time. I made $35,000. And now as I look back at it, I realized that the reason why I made 35,000 was because I put this invisible ceiling. I put this cap on myself, and I thought that that was good. So what I had to do was really surround myself with people who were making 6 and 7 figures, and see them doing it, because that to me was evidence. And once I surrounded myself with those people, and I started to work with those people, and I started to mastermind with those people, my mindset just grew and grew and grew around money. And I realized that I could do 6 figures, I could do 7 figures. And the following year, I went from 35 in one year to 500, actually 535 the second year. So it's just incredible the shifts that happen when you just change your mind about things, when you just see things differently and see your value differently and look at sales differently. It's just incredible the shifts that can be made. And that's why, as I'm sharing these online captivation secrets with you, a lot of it is about who you are. A lot of it is about the way you see yourself. It's about the way you represent. It's about the way other people see you. It's about who you are actually being and the mindset, because that is really the key to captivating, right? You've never seen anyone who's just been a wallflower, or somebody who just kind of hides in the corner. They don't captivate their audience. They really don't captivate anyone. A lot of times they're just overlooked, right? So are you doing that in your business? Are you the type of person who is just being overlooked because you're hiding, or because you're not really putting your full self out there, or because maybe you lack confidence in what you're doing? So the 6-figure mindset is all about confidence. So I want to share a little story with you about the first time that I manifested a 5-figure month, which, back in, 2015, or was it 2014, that was kind of what everybody wanted to do. We wanted to hit that first 10K month, that first 5-figure month. And, up until then I was making about 5, 6, sometimes $7,000 a month. And while that was really good to start, I knew that I could do more, but I just wasn't sure how. So after I worked with a coach, I took a manifesting program. I learned a little bit about money, learned about myself, and I just decided that I was going to have an $11,000 month. It's what I wanted. It was my goal. I wanted $11,000 that month. And as I was doing my journaling, as I was doing my mindset work, as I was doing my manifestation, every time I would see that $11,000, I would cringe, and I would actually tell myself, yeah, right. So I know a lot of you do the same thing. You might think like, oh, I want to make 6 figures, or I want to make 10K this month, or I want to have, a $50,000 launch. But the back of your mind, you're telling yourself no. You're telling yourself that's not possible. So does that happen to any of you guys? Are you guys relating to what I'm saying about how on one end you're saying, I want this, but the other end, you're not actually believing that you can have it? Whether it's just because you don't know how, or it's just because that's not what you're used to. So I'm going to pop on really quick to the live stream here on Facebook so that I can see if anybody's leaving comments. All right, cool. I see comments. I don't know why they're not showing up on my thing. I wish they were. Okay, so Shay says looking beautiful. Amy says 7-figure mindset. Absolutely. Either way, it's 6 or 7, right? But they're totally different ones, right? Even a 10-figure mindset or an 8-figure mindset, completely different mentality. So how many times are we saying, I want this, but then we are just not really doing what we need to do in order to get it? So really having that 6-figure mindset, 7-figure mindset, whatever it is that you desire, it starts here, right? It starts with that belief, and it starts with confidence. And what is confidence? For me, evidence is confidence. So going back to that story where I wanted that $11,000 month, but I didn't really believe that I could get it, only because I had only gotten 5 and 6 and 7 previously. So to me, it was evidence that I could do 5 or 6 or 7, but I didn't have evidence that I could do a 5-figure month because it never happened, right? So I want you guys to, when you're thinking about creating something or reaching a goal or manifesting a desire, to really think about what it is that you want, and also how that's going to make you feel. This actually is a conversation that I had with a client earlier today. Was, it's never really about the money, right? It's never really about the 6 figures. It's never really about the 5-figure month. It's never really about the 100K launch. It's really about the end result. It's really about how you're going to feel, how you want to feel, how that money is going to make you feel, what that money is going to allow you to do. So you really need to tap into that end goal and have the mindset that you actually can have it. So look for evidence. What are some of the things that happen to you on a daily basis? What are some of the things that you have? What are some of the, maybe you get compliments from people, maybe you get a great opportunity. Mark that all down as evidence, because a lot of times we also just overlook the fact that all these amazing things are happening to us because it's not happening the way that we want it to, or it's not happening the way that we thought it would. So I want you guys to start collecting evidence, because the more evidence you have, the more confident you're going to be that you can actually have all these things. So I'm going to repeat that. The more evidence you have, the more confident you will be that you can achieve your goals, that you can have anything you want. So start collecting that evidence, because it's really all those little things are going to pile up and make you start to believe that you can actually achieve whatever it is that you desire. So, and when you have this confidence, like I was saying with the wallflower example, knowing that you have this confidence, knowing that you're really, really great at what you do, that resonates with people. People connect with that. They can feel your energy. They can feel your shifts. I know somebody said something here about energetic vibrations. Shate said physical and energetic vibrations, not in sync. Exactly. Really, it's the same when you're connecting with people. And that's why this is one of the online captivation secrets. You might think, well, this has nothing to do with online, or this has nothing to do with social media, or this has nothing to do with, marketing. But the reality is it all has to do with that. And, this is exactly why I created the guide for you guys, because I want you to really understand and really see the bigger picture of what it takes to be successful, and why some people, they could be doing the same exact thing as somebody else, the same strategies, taking the same courses, working with the same coaches. They don't get the same results. And the reason is because of this. It's because of the mindset. So Amy says, I have an issue with once the money comes in and something else happens, where it goes out the door. Oh, yes, Amy. Yes. So that's a different kind of problem, right? So for Amy, you can manifest, right? So you can actually bring it in, but for whatever reason, you can't keep it. So you want to figure out why that is. And that, I believe, happens a lot with people who maybe are usually on a budget or have a smaller income, and then all of a sudden they get this big income. It's like, what do I actually do with that? Or do I actually deserve this? That's probably another question that comes up is, do I actually deserve this? And what is my value? What is my worth? So for me, I think that's more of a worth thing. You kind of make feel a certain way about having the money, that you're like, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to get rid of it, because if I have it, this is going to happen. If I have it, Y is going to happen. So really figure out what that is. I would tap into, for you, Amy, what that underlying belief that you have about keeping that money and about having it. But totally something common I see when people go from zero to 6 figures, or 6 figures to 7 figures, is like, we don't know what to do with that money. So that is just a completely different block than not receiving it at all. But let's see, who else has comments here? Thank you for the hearts. I see Legina and Jennifer. I don't know why this did not show up on my stream, but at least I got my phone here and I can see your guys' comments now. So, does this resonate? Does this make sense to you guys? Do you guys see how having this wealth mindset, having this money mindset that is just, incrementally getting higher and higher, allows you to break through your own individual glass ceilings, which is exactly what I had. I had this $40,000 cap basically. And I had to really understand money differently. I had to see money differently. I had to have different beliefs around money in order to break that. And for me, it was, evidence in a different way. It was evidence in seeing other people do it. So I think before, when I was in the real world and real life, I had only seen people making 40 or $60,000 a year. Maybe a handful of people would make 100, but that was not normal, right? So for me, the evidence was surrounding myself with people who I actually saw go from 0 to 6 figures, go from, 0 to 7 figures, because once I saw that, I was able to say, you know what, I can do it too. And I'm very competitive. So when I saw them doing it, I knew that it was possible. So look for that evidence. Look for the people around you that are achieving those things. Look at some of the small wins that you have that, complement or that make you realize like you're on the right path. So if you are maybe somebody who is, thinks, oh, well, I'm a single mom and I can't do it, right? Look for evidence of that. Look for examples of single moms who were able to do what you were able to do. If you want to, maybe you're in the 6 figure range and you want to go to 7, surround yourself with those 7 figure people, because totally different mindset, totally different strategies, totally different everything. Okay, so that is it, guys, for the online captivation secret number 4. Inside the 6 figure mindset, I'm really just shifting, completely shifting out of that mindset of broke, out of that mindset of I'm an employee and I work and I get a paycheck for it. It's just something that is normal, right? Because that's what we've been doing, unless you've been an entrepreneur your whole life. It's a real big shift, and it's going to allow you to break through that ceiling and create all the wealth that you want, all of it. All right, so I don't see any more comments. If anybody else has comments, I'm just going to look here real quick. I don't see anything. All right, so I'm gonna hop off this. Good timing. I always like to keep them like under 20 minutes so you guys can get in, get the lesson, get out. So if you enjoyed this, go and look for the other ones. They're in the group here, Online Captivation Secret 1, 2, and 3. Tomorrow I'll be back with number 5. But if you want all 9 and you have not downloaded the Captivate handbook, go ahead and download it. That link is right there for you to do that. And it really is just going to show you how to use mindset, how to use being, how to use attraction to magnetize your audience, to create raving fans, and to essentially, at the end, make more sales. I am always going to now bring up this visualization. So I want you guys to visualize. I want you to envision people, your ideal client, women, men, whoever it is. I want you to envision them running at you with credit cards in their hands, waiting to pay you, wanting to pay you, loving that they have to pay you every month, because they're getting massive value from what you provide. So keep that vision in mind. I'm going to keep reminding you guys of that, because that is what captivation is all about. That is what captivating your audience is all about. It really is about getting those people to fall in love with you and want to pay you for your expertise. So I will be back tomorrow for lesson number 5, or captivation secret number 5. Ambra says I came in late. I'm going to catch the replay. Okay. Cassandra says thank you. Ambra says thank you. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Have an amazing, amazing night. I am off to have a lovely dinner with a friend and some new friends. So I'll talk to you guys soon.